Good morning, community. How are you? Jenenne Macklin here, transformational speaker, your wealth guide and catalyst. Good morning, to the West Coast. How are you? It's a little chilly here for us, but we cannot complain because what I see happening on the East Coast is crazy. And good afternoon to the East Coast. I'm just going to hop in for a moment. I had to get some repairs done, and the gentleman's doing some work in the house, but I did want to be consistent. And one of the things I just wanted to quickly ask you to consider is, how do you express your appreciation? How do you express your care, your concern, your love? Over this whole time, I've tried to do, I've got a runny nose this morning, a variety of things. Hey, good morning. To support those who have been really on the front lines way more than some of us may have been. And kept waiting and waiting for that opportunity. Hey, Constance, how are you? Where you been? Constance, Crystal, Kat, where's my crew? How are you doing? How's your family? From the very beginning, I've always wanted to show some expression for those who never stopped. I mean, when the pandemic hit, even though they said, we were all locked down, there were people who were considered essential workers who continued to go to work every single day. Throughout these 9-10 months, they've been going to work every single day. They've been there. They've been taking care of us. And I was like, how do I support them? And I remember going to the hospital, wanting to see if I could buy lunch for the staff there, going someplace else, trying to see where I could make donations. What could I do? I think one of the greatest opportunities that we have is to express our appreciation and grace, our thanksgiving, our support, unwavering support for those who have been going to work on the front lines every single day. I listened to a woman today who said she sat with a mom who was making her transition because her family couldn't. Can you even begin to imagine day after day sitting with people you didn't know, but you come to know, and you walk the journey with them, and then you have to let them leave and their families don't get to be a part of it? It's such I've walked it with my mom, my dad, my grandmother. I was there for all their transitions. And while it's sad to let them go, it's such a humbling and honoring experience to be a part of that. So for the one time, I was looking at TV this morning on GMA, and they were talking about a Facebook group. They had adopted a nurse. And I thought, oh my God, there it is. So it'll be on the page later. But for those of you who can have the time or the energy, go to adopt a nurse / first responder / healthcare worker and see if there's any way you can make any donations. There have been a lot of Secret Santas on Facebook, and a friend of mine asked me to be on, and I thought, I just can't do all that, but I'm going to send it to 2 people who I at least knew on the list. But when this came, I thought, what a wonderful opportunity to be able to surprise someone. That when they come to their home, we've thought of them and we've sent something that would make their days and their hearts a little bit softer, a little bit easier for what they're having to go through. How deeply can you dive into appreciation and giving thanks for those who are doing what they need to do to really keep us safe? I mean, I saw tons and tons of people getting the vaccine the other day, and I thought, that's great. That's not something I necessarily want to do right now, but I understand they have to do it. I don't know if it's 100% fine and safe and whatever, but they're getting the shots so they can still be on the line to help. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that commitment to your craft or to your mission. When I worked as a social worker, I felt like it was my mission. I felt like God had inspired me to work with kids and told me very clearly in a dream when I was like 8 years old, this is your life. You're going to work with kids. You're going to have a group home. You're going to have one son. And that has been my life. And every job I've had to work with kids and their family, physical abuse, sexual abuse, residential placement, day treatment, 9 to 5 in the office treatment, what I did, daycare, every part. I did reunifications with families where one parent may have taken a child to another country, and I'd be at the airport at 2 o'clock in the morning for that child to be returned. I'd get the child and give it to the parent that was here. But how much do we really, really take the time to appreciate it? It's so easy us to say, okay, well, they're taking care of us. Now let's go do what we want to do. They're doing that, so we're going to do this, because it's hard to have to face the realities of what's happening in the world right now. But there are people who are there every single day. In every moment, they're getting up out of their beds from their warmth, from their security, to go into hospitals, to go into makeshift stations, to help to take care of and support others. And so I want you to go to that Facebook page, adopt a nurse, a first responder, and it's and healthcare workers, and see whatever you can give. If you just send a card for $10, that might help someone. If you just send, I don't know, whatever you can do. But I'm just asking you to really dive into it. Now, here's the thing. You need me? Okay, that's my numbers.
Yeah, I'll probably go ahead and just do a Google search. That's the part number there.
Okay.
And it'll pop up with all kinds of places that have it.
Oh, great. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay.
Yeah, good day.
Have a good day. Have a great holiday.
You do the same.
Now, here's the thing. The power of appreciation. See, what we don't get is what we send out, it comes back to us. What we send out, it comes back to us. Now, you may say, I don't have money that I can give like that, Jenenne. Fine. Give them a prayer. Go on the site and say, I will pray for you. I will pray for your safety. I'll pray for your strength. I'll pray for your resolve. I'll pray for your resilience. I'll pray for your faith. You're still giving something. But the power of appreciation, the power of us moving ourselves out the way. Here I go again, talking about that ego that wants to edge God out. Move ego out the way. Move ego and its little chatter out the way, and allow your heart to speak and your heart to guide you. Because I know there's many people in tough situations. But when we can appreciate the actions of another deeply in our heart and honor it as valuable. See, we in America, because it's so capitalist and because of the way we are, and we're so, capitalism is really is selfish versus, we want to get into communism and socialism. There's a tendency to say, okay, well, that's being taken care of the frontline workers, so I'm going to go do this, this, and this. And you can forget what they're doing is doing for those of us here. What they're doing and how it impacts us. And how do we live in gratitude, appreciation, and thanksgiving for what's being given to us so that we can stay safe. We haven't even begun to get the numbers of how many frontline responders have been impacted. How many frontline responders have we lost? How many have been sick? How many have gone home and then unknowingly may have impacted their families? See, part of the thing about capitalism is me, I. Let me get mine, let me do me, let me get this. I gotta have my this, my that. But what this has brought us to, the realization is we can't do it by ourselves. They can't do it by themselves. We have to do it together. So when we can hold an energy and awareness of appreciating what they do in your moments of stillness, if you're one of those people like I am that gets up early in the morning, you do your morning meditation, that you just sit there in that stillness and feel appreciation in your heart. What does it feel like to you to be appreciated? What does that feel like? And then when you can capture that, see if you can send that out into the universe to every single nurse and every single doctor and every single technician and every single janitor and everyone who's keeping all these doors open in these hospitals and the makeshift hospitals where they had, at one point we had we had a huge ship outside of in our waters, I think in Long Beach, where they were moving some people who were sick to the ship so they could move those who had the virus into the hospital. I mean, if we could just elevate the energy on this planet to have a greater sense of appreciation for all that's being done, that allows me to be at home with my son and not necessarily be concerned and worried about what's going to happen. That it's not like they said, okay, we need everybody to get to the hospitals and help. And then people are like, I'm not going to go to the hospital. No, we had people who went to the hospital because that was their calling, and they keep going every single day because that's their calling. And I don't know if you've ever lived a calling, but my whole existence is a calling. When I'm a social worker and I'm working with kids, it's a calling. When I'm doing my coaching with women, it's a calling. And it's this kind of feeling inside of you that nothing can stop you. You have to do it. You're drawn to do it. It gives you such a sense of exhilaration and purpose. And even if you're putting your life on the line or putting your life in jeopardy, you still do it because it's a calling. People aren't nurses just because they think, oh, it's great, I'm going to go stick people with needles. I couldn't do it. I couldn't stick a needle in a body, but they could. They could be there. I could be there to witness their transitions or say the prayers with them, but I can't do that. But these are people who never expected to necessarily have to be going through this level of loss on such a consistent basis, and they're there every single day. So how do you experience appreciation? How do you express appreciation? To yourself, first and foremost. And many of us don't. We just go, do, give. But what are you appreciating about you? And then what do you appreciate about those you live with? And then what do you appreciate about your neighbors who are next door? Those are just my neighbors I was speaking to. And then what do you appreciate about those women and those men? There's a woman over there from me. I said this back in March. I didn't even know it. She's a first line worker. She's a nurse, consistently going in every single day. I saw her out here the other day in her scrubs, heading in to work. What do we do to support the essential workers who are helping making our lives easier? And this website, or it's actually a page on Facebook, is a place where you can send your love. If you don't have money, just stay on the page and send energy to the names there. But if you can get a $10 gift card from Amazon and send it to someone, that they could come to their house and maybe there's a gift basket on their porch or there are flowers on their porch. I didn't bring out my earbuds, so I know you don't want to hear the trash can. If you just get a card and send it, if you get a knit cap and send it because it's so freaking cold wherever they may be. But for once, to not just think about ourselves and what we're going through and how uncomfortable we are with a mask and how we don't like this and how we're tired of that. Stop being the selfish Americans that drive people crazy when we go traveling in European countries. Because they say we have terrible manners, and be the amazing human being that God has made us to be. Join together and let them know that we care about them. Let them know we do think about them. Let them know we do see them. And whatever, all those lists of things you got on your list, people you're going to try and get gifts to, make sure you put an essential worker at the top of that list. Because getting something to your mom, if you've been taking care of all this time, she's fine. Getting some for your sister and brothers, they've been living around you and you've been feeding and cooking for them, they're fine. Give it to those who need to know that we're standing behind them, because this ain't over yet. Can you imagine what's going to happen in January when everybody comes back from the vacations? Can you imagine the impact they're going to have as those instrumental people who are there to greet the people who made these choices, thinking about whatever, and now they're in the hospitals? I cannot ask you enough to dive into the energy and the power of appreciating and not just taking things for granted. We took it for granted, and then we're like spoiled little kids. Well, I don't want to wear a mask. I don't want to do that. Oh, shut up. Just do it so we can move on. But here's the thing. They don't have a choice because they're living a mission. And every single day they put their clothes up and they walk into those hospitals. They walk into the ER rooms. They walk onto those floors. They walk into those spaces every single day because that's the mission they've been given. And they're doing it consistently. They're tired and they're doing it. They're worn out and they're doing it. Their spirits are low and they're doing it. They're watching people have to make transitions at a faster rate than they ever imagined in their profession. And we can support them by letting them know that they matter to each and every one of us, and letting them know deep in our hearts and our spirits, we appreciate every single move. It's because of them that we're home comfortable and staying at home with our kids and our dogs and our families and our friends. It's because of what they're doing. And what do? We just go and do whatever we want to, fly wherever we want to, and then come back and we're sick and like, oh, well, what? And then we're upset and we're crying because now we're scared to death. Appreciate the life that you have and know that there's nothing external that you need to validate that life, because everything you need for the value of your life has already been given inside of you. Technically, nobody needs to even be buying Christmas gifts this year. What? Talk to people, love on people, let them know what you appreciate about them, let them know why you love them, let them know why you miss them. There's other things to be done with money than support the American economy. Have the children make cards and send it to them. But we are being called to recognize how valuable each and every one of them are. We were like, oh, the nurses, this. I remember my cousin was saying something, or was it Ian? I was saying something to him, and he said, well, you know, Mom, the doctors tell you such and such, but the nurses tell you the truth. I said, you got a point, because when the doctors get through with all their lingo, you don't know what the heck they said, and then the nurse comes in, and she's like, okay, let me tell you what you got to do. She tells you this, and you're on a roll, and you know what to do. It's the nurses. They're the ones. And then it's the first responder. Who do you call? We ain't calling no Ghostbusters. We're calling the first responders, and we're going to keep calling them as we need them. But we could make their jobs easier. We could not be the capitalist America that we've come to be. where it's I, me, and mine. I got to have this. I got to have that. I got to have that. I got to go buy the tennis shoes because they're the hottest thing out. Then somebody's going to die. No, it's not about I, me, and mine. It's about us. It's about we. It's about what we can do together. So I am asking you to dive into the energy of appreciation. You always see me out here in nature, and I'm showing you flowers, and I'm showing you the sky, and I'm showing you the clouds, because I want you to appreciate all of what we have and all that's been given to us. That's external. Then appreciate what's inside of you. Appreciate that power that's breathing your breath and beating your heart. Give that some appreciation. Don't just appreciate your breath when you don't have it. And we're running up a hill and you're like, then all of a sudden you appreciate it. We want to become people who are stronger in a faith and a power and a oneness that knows that what we do to one impacts all of us and ripples across this planet. So if we send appreciation, if we send love, if we just sit in stillness and send that out to every single nurse across this planet, every single responder across this planet, every single healthcare worker across this planet, can you even imagine what boost of energy they may feel from us if we were willing to appreciate it, not take it for granted, but appreciate that they're getting up out of their beds every single day and haven't stopped until they get sick and drop. So I'm asking you, it's a Facebook page, and it's funny because I went to the page, she said, I was getting ready to take the page down. I figured nobody cared. How could we let her think we don't care? She set up the page for her mother and is trying to figure out what else she could do to help her mother. How could we let them think we don't care? And then I saw it on GMA this morning. I look at the news before the GMA comes on, and it stayed on because I was doing some work and waiting on the repairman to come. And then I saw this and I thought, wait a minute, this is what I've been waiting for. How can I impact them directly? How can I thought that's what we're doing today. We're talking about appreciation. We're talking about thanksgiving and gratitude and living from that awareness in all that we do. You see people, say hello to them. Appreciate your neighbors. Appreciate what you do have. Appreciate the health you do have. Appreciate the ability you do have to walk, to talk, to scream, to cry, to sniff, to do all of those things. Because when you're not here, you don't get to do that anymore. And you do everything you can to put your finger on ego. All it's trying to do is edge God out and give you nothing but fear and worry when what we need is faith and oneness. Go around your house today. Tell your refrigerator you appreciate it. It keeps your food closed. Tell the washing machine you appreciate it. Some people don't have it. They have to go to the laundromat. Tell your car you appreciate it. It gets you from point A to point B. Tell your man who gets on your nerves you love him, but you appreciate him. He still gets on your nerves. Tell your boyfriend, your girlfriend you love them. Tell them dogs that you guys take everywhere, and you take wonderful care of the doggone dogs. And they have everything they need. Not specifically talking to you, Del Mac, but I got friends who got strollers and who got carriers and who got bracelets and everything on the doggone dogs, but you don't have time and energy and money to send something to an essential worker. Stop it. Stop it. Go right now and help her. She said she was taking the page down, but when she saw it on the news, she said, someone told me this was on the news. So I sent her a message to her, yeah, you're on GMA and we're coming for you. She's like, oh my God, okay, I gotta get ready. I get ready. She said, I'll be back to get to all of you, because more and more people are pouring into that page. Tell us what you need. Tell us how to do it and tell us what to do. And we're going to support our essential workers. And she was just overjoyed with the fact that someone had gotten that information to the news channel and they had broadcast it. So now that we know, I've told you, tell others. What happens? I put this on my page and it's saved. Send it to others so that they know, so that everybody can help. If we need to break that page, let's break that page with our request to tell us who we can support. And then we get to decide what that's going to look like. And I can't think of a better Christmas, a better holiday action to take than that. I haven't even gotten a tree this year. I have some lights up here because they stay up here all the time. But to be able to do this gives me joy. It gives me so much joy. So in those moments when you're feeling sad and you're tired and you're sick of the limits and you're sick of the masks and you're tired, you want to get to the store or you want to get here, you want to run out and buy those presents. Why we got to run and do the same thing this year we do every year? How come it cannot have a different meaning what we give when it comes to Christmas? Everybody's celebrating Jesus. Well, what do you think Jesus would do? Do you think Jesus would be like, oh yeah, give me all the presents. I need a new this. I need a new car. I need a new shoes. I need a new. No, we know better than that. What would Allah do? What would Buddha do? What would Mother Teresa do? What would Shiva do? What would Ola Damari do? What would all those great leaders, Gandhi, do? What would they put their focus on? Acquiring more stuff or sending more into the universe to take care of those who are ultimately taking care of us? So that's what I got this morning. Appreciation. Let everybody know you appreciate them. Those you love, go tell them right now you appreciate them. You appreciate their craziness. You appreciate that they get on your nerves. You appreciate that they don't put up their issue when they need to put up. You appreciate you have to tell them 4 and 5 times to do stuff over and over. Because here's the thing. I could be wrong, but I know I'm not. If they weren't here tomorrow, you'd miss them. If they weren't here tomorrow, you'd be like, oh, I wish I had. I don't live with no, I wish I had. I tell everybody everything I need to say because I'm always under the awareness that there's not a promise in any day. So don't be the typical American. And when you saw this earlier and you saw me with the flowers, what I was doing was letting you know that life is always unfolding. And this is what I do with my flowers. What's happening is there's newness coming down here. You see all these new, nice, pretty leaves that the doggone bugs back there weren't eating them. So they're coming up. I fertilized this. But if you look up here, these are old. You know, these break off. But as the new ones are coming down here, you still see the old ones that are here. But see, I can break them off because they're old. And this is the way life is. In the midst of all this barren up here, in the midst of this is old, and, you know, these are old. Well, that wasn't so old, it didn't break. And these are old. Down here is still newness coming. And this is what's happening for each and one of us in this moment all the time. In the midst of the storm, newness is unfolding. Something's buzzing. Oh, a bee. Hey, bee. Something is. So appreciate it. Appreciate your family. Appreciate your children. Appreciate your dogs. But most importantly, we must turn our attention to appreciating those who are truly the essential workers, who are the diehard that get up every single day out of their beds. And there's probably 2 or 3 people in that household that's doing that. And they go into a place that we already know is contaminated. We already know that they have this one little thing right here that they've been given to save their lives, basically, and to protect them while they do everything in their power to protect and save others who have made some of the most interesting choices. And because of the choices we make, it does impact. And I believe that's one of the things we're learning. We are not on the island alone. What we do impacts others. Wearing or not wearing a mask impacts others. Sneezing and coughing impacts others. Have you noticed, have you gone anywhere and anybody cough? And if somebody cough, everybody kind of turn and say, okay, what kind of cough was that? We listen for the cough to kind of hear, is that just a cold cough or is that what kind of cough? It's really funny. Or maybe I'm the only one that does that. Anyway, my people, love you. Just let them know we love them. Let them know we're there for them. Let them know we've got their back. And any small gesture that we can do, it's going to ripple. You know what they say about the butterfly on the other part of the world. Those wings still ripple all the way across to us. Let's ripple in their lives. Let's be that wave. Back in the day we would do the wave or whatever. Let's be that wave in their lives. Let them be so overwhelmed with our concern and care for them, putting their lives on the line. They're no different than our military. The only thing is different is that when our military goes to war, we can't see it. They're no different. We've been to hospitals to have our appointments and different things. They're going into war, so to speak. And they're going in there every single day. And in instances before now, they didn't have all the supplies that they needed, but they still went into work every single day. They had to get their consciousness and their mind right so they could go in and deal with what they had to deal with on a regular basis. Let's create a wave of appreciation for each and every one of them as best we can. Have a great Wednesday. I'm going to take my little nosy self into the house and blow it and get me some tea and relax. I think I've said all that I was feeling because it just kind of flew through me. I didn't see. Hi, Joshua. Hi, Ann. Hi, Patricia. Hi, C. Thompson. How are you? Haven't seen you in a minute. Hey, Candace, how are you doing? It's so good to see you. Hey, Del Mac, what are you doing up this morning? Oh, you up early every morning, my dear. Hi, Michelle Nelson. Good to see you. Hi, Sophia. Oh, my gosh. Hashtag replay if you come on afterwards. Hi, Rosa. Hi, Victoria. Hi, Katrina. Hi, Tina K. How are you? Let me know what state you're in, where you're hopping on from. Every time I think I'm going to kind of wind down, I notice I get this extra boost. So here I am again this morning, almost right on time. It was the technician's fault that I didn't get on at 9. But I'll be here as long as God, life, and the universe has me here. Share that. Just appreciate it. Appreciate it. Stop being the typical self-centered capitalist country that we are, because capitalism is all about self-centered. Capitalism is really about individuals, which is why, we're kind of at this another intersection of wanting to be more than that. And this is an opportunity to be more than that. Take good care. Have a great day. I'm going to check on my child. Get me some tea. Do some work. I'm still working. And hold a space. And I'm waiting for her, the daughter, to get back to the page so she can give us the information of how we reach the people so we can support the first responders. Take good care. Bye for now. Thank you. Someone said, we appreciate you. Thank you. I thank you. I thank you all for being here. At least let me know I'm not talking to myself. I appreciate your energy. And now turn around and then send that energy out to every single worker. And if you say, Jenenne, I just don't have anything to give, yes, you do. You have a prayer. You have a kind thought you can hold for them. Yes, you do. Don't ever think you don't have something to give. Our energy is what's going to impact this planet. Send them your love. Send them strength. Send them resilience. Send them patience. Send them healing to all the cells, the molecules in their bodies, to their throats, to their respiratory systems, to their muscles and to their joints. Send them compassion. Send them flexibility in your prayers. Yes, you always have something you can send them. It's not just about what's tangible. Hold them in your heart and hold them close. Every time you drop down on your knees in prayer, take them with you. Every time you sit down in meditation, take them with you. Every walk that you make, take them with you. Stop talking about the president. Stop talking about family. Stop talking about all that stuff. It's going to resolve itself. This is what needs our attention, our energy, our prayers, our hopes, our resilience, and our faith more than anything else. Take good care. Bye for now.